Well, hello, everybody. Well, everybody except nobody. I don't see anybody in the live stream right now, so I guess I might end up just talking to me. But that's okay. Well, hello, everybody. I had a couple of things that I wanted to cover tonight, so hopefully people will be able to see it after the fact if they don't see it now. So anyway, let me get right to it. I want to make sure I'm done before DCA and chump change go on if Misfit Mining is actually going on. Not sure that they are, but they might be. Hold on one second. There we go. Okay. So, basically, I've gone over hourly pricing in the past. Let me make myself a little bit bigger here. There we go. I've gone over hourly pricing in the past. This past month was actually one of the worst months, -1, that I've had with the hourly pricing. So I was very curious to see how this month came out. So the first one is my bill. Total bill for the supply side. All this stuff is going to be the same every month. So total for the supply side is 103.84. And my total power is 1781, which is 1780. So it's 1841 minus 61 to come up with 1780. So ComEd, when you're on the hourly price, they tell you exactly what the standard rate is, which is 7.069. But if you do the math, it comes out to now I did 1781 instead of 1780, whatever. It still comes out to 5.8 cents instead of 7.069 cents. It actually still works out that I saved quite a bit of money this month on my supply side, even though it was a pretty bad month. So this is the average electricity charges that I've had over the past 2 to 3 years. So it shows 2019, 2020, 2021, and these are just the supply side minus the capacity charge, but it still is a good comparison. So you can see last year, which was a pretty warm winter, was nice and low last year. This year it was 4.5 cents. So over twice as much as last year. Even so, I still saved money. So why did that happen this month? Well, that's because this is when Texas had all their power problems and caused energy futures to skyrocket during this period of time. So we had a short-lived bubble, probably starting, this is still pretty high. So I'd probably say from about the 11th to, let's say, the 19th or 20th. So about a third of the month was significantly higher, with obviously the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th being the bulk of that bubble. But at any rate, it still worked out. This was a short little bubble, and overall you can see, 3 cents till the end of the month was like 1.7 cent. And so it still saved me money, even though there was this big bubble in the middle. So worked out really, really well. So if you happen to live in Illinois or anywhere in Illinois or somewhere else that has hourly pricing, strongly recommend that you look into it. I have saved so much money on being on this program versus the standard rate. Again, you have bubble months like this where you're going to pay a little bit more, but still not bad. Going back to my overall bill. So my overall bill, this is some financing we did when we replaced our HVAC system, but our power bill itself was just over $200. Well, I'm pulling about 2.7 kilowatts consistently, and that's the amount of my power bill. From other people I've heard, that's pretty darn low. Definitely very happy with that. And again, this was a bad month. If I do the whole all-in price, taking out the customer charge and standard metering charge, these are fixed charges that are on every bill. So it's the same every month. I take that out when I calculate my all-in price. So my all-in price was 10.6 when the standard was obviously about 1.2 above that. So basically right around 12 cents. So anyway, just wanted to show that if you do have the opportunity to get into a program like this, I highly recommend looking into it. Not financial advice, but I've had a lot of great luck with it. The other thing I wanted to show, I have a couple of things that I've gotten recently. And the first one, thanks to Savage Mine, got myself a t-shirt. The Bitcoin t-shirt that if you've been watching any, unless you've been living in a hole, but if you've been watching any of the streams, this has been all over. So definitely just got mine today. Very, very happy with it. Anyway, can't wait to put it on. Didn't want to put it on tonight. Want to be clean when I put it on. Anyway, not at the end of the day. So anyway, so that's the first thing. Go to dogelord.com. That's where you can get that under the Savage Mine section. Lots of good stuff there to purchase. So a lot of good cryptocurrency, crypto swag, as Not Your Normal Miner said. Forgot about that. I need to send a tweet for the Crypto Friday swag, I think is what he has. Anyway, shout out to Not Your Normal Miner. Anyway, the other thing I got, and this was from Chump Change, was so I'm looking to build another rig. I am in the queue 2 different places for cryptocurrency. So not cryptocurrency, for GPUs. And so I should be getting 6 more cards in total. I have 4 one place and then 2 another place. And I'll talk about one of the places shortly. Actually, I have 3. I take that back. I have 3 in one place, 4 in another. So anyway, so I needed to basically have some way of putting this into a rig. I didn't want to build a wood rig. Certainly didn't want to pay $150 to $200 for the rigs that are available now. So when I saw Chump Change doing this, I was like, oh, sign me up. So he 3D printed very, very nice GPU hangers. So basically this goes on to the GPU. So there's 2 holes down here for the fork. I call them the fork legs at the bottom of the GPU. And then the GPU goes up against this, goes up this, and then this screws it down. And then your GPU hangs this way. And then these little hooks. I have the Home Depot rack that I just picked up this week as well. Sorry. Ugh. Anyway, basically, they go up like that, and then it hangs right like that. Nice and snug. So definitely, I double checked it to make sure I had the right rack and it fit and everything, because he had very specific racks. He's like, hey, if you have the Home Depot rack, order this. If you have, I don't know what the other ones were, because I knew I was getting the Home Depot rack. But very, very happy with this. Also includes some other standoffs for the motherboard. So the motherboard just doesn't sit on the metal. Has some power supply mounts as well. So anyway, it's a whole kit for basically putting it on a couple of different types of racks. And if you have a wire rack that isn't one of the ones that that he has pre-configured, there is a place where you can actually go and actually show a measurement of your rack, and he can customize those hangers for whichever rack you have. So anyway, I am so excited to build this thing. I just need GPUs. So I know I moved up on one of the lists. There's a local distributor, our system integrator around here. And I was number 7. And he has 5 Zotacs coming in. I don't know if any of those will become available to me or not. But if not, that means I'll move up to number 2. So anyway, I'm getting there. I'm getting close. And then the other place that I have GPUs is also, I have a couple people that showed up. Hey, thanks for showing up, guys. Anyway, so one of the other places I have, I'm in the EVGA queue. So one of the things I've been hearing is, yeah, I'm in the EVGA queue, but I have no idea when I'm going to, good information, little blight. Yeah, light blight, sorry. Definitely good information. Actually, Parallel Miner, that's where I just picked up a few PCIe cables as well as splitters. They had those in stock. I actually have another set coming from Amazon that I might just end up returning. But yeah, those were really hard to find for the longest time. And obviously power supplies have been tough, but I had ordered power supplies a while ago as a backup because I was nervous that if anything went down, I was going to be stuck. So I bought a 750 watt power supply from Micro Center that was open box. So it was cheap. It was like, I don't know, $60 or something. It was 65, something like that. It was unbelievable. And then I also bought a server power supply. I think I got that one from Nerd Gears, but I brought a spare just to make sure I had it. Only thing I didn't have spares of were risers and cables. So the risers are supposed to be shipped out next week from GPUrisers.com. Actually should look pretty cool. I was actually this morning, Red Panda was talking about the fact that, oh my gosh, the risers are going to have red connectors instead of black. I want the red and white ones. Those are my colors. I didn't put it on there, but I have to bait it on saying, hey, I'm part of that next shipment. You know, if you want to buy them from me at a premium, hey, no problem. Anyway, but no, I need those risers. Anyway, so sorry, getting back to it. The EVGAQ, there is this sheet that shows where we are on the EVGA sheet. So like, for instance, let's look at the most recent one, 3060 XE3, or any of the 3060s. They opened up at 9 o'clock on February 25th. Well, they were supposed to have opened up at 9 o'clock on February 25th. The trick to get in was to have the direct link to the auto notify page. I did not have that. Many of us didn't have that, but some people did, and those are all the people that got in. It was after 9:30 when you could actually get into the page and actually do it. So I'm at 9:33. So for this one, the XC3 Black and the XC3 Gaming, I'm at 9:33. So gonna be a little while, but we'll see. So I'm in queue for that. I was in queue for the 3060 Ti for the Win 3 Ultra, as well as the XC3 Gaming of the 3060. I got both of those. I'm still in the queue for the 3665, but didn't know about this one. This one wasn't well announced, so I'm on 12.9 at like 1847. So because it wasn't well announced, I'm actually about the same placement in this queue as I am in this 3060 queue. So anyway, the way I know that is there is another page. Let me see if I can find it. Let me drag this over. So there's another page that basically, this is a voluntary page where people went in and actually put in where they were in the queue. So they would go in and you enter in all your information. Basically, you go into the form. 3060 Ti form and the 3060 form, whichever one you had on order. You put that in, and then you end up on the list. So, for instance, the 3060 XE Gaming, you can see approximately of the people that entered, how many people actually got cards. And people don't come back and re-report, but you can see that people actually got cards. Although, yeah, some of these people didn't fill it in correctly, unfortunately, because a lot of that's false. Oh, wait, I take that back. Yeah, there was 3.5. That makes sense. So anyway, so basically we've gotten to this point. I'm at 9:33, so I'm way down here. But we're getting there. I'm about a little over 100 away on this list, so we'll see how long that takes. I'm hoping that by the end of the month I can get a 3060. And hey, maybe by that time, somebody will have figured out how to get rid of the nerf. So we'll see. We shall see. So anyway, it's probably too late to really get into any of these queues. The queues are so long, but wanted to make you guys aware of this. If you are in the queue, know about this, that this page is available. It tells you the latest reported queue position that was sold. So really important to know this, so you have an idea of when you're going to get it. So if you are in the queue, this is a good place to look. If you aren't in the queue, and just know that when there's new models that come out that you might want, then this is where you want to make sure you know when the EVGA queue is opening up and sign up right away to have any chance of getting a card soon. For example, like the 3060, I knew it wasn't going to be a great miner, but I'll probably make this my primary card in my PC and then move the 3060 Ti to a mining rig instead. So anyway, various things that are happening. And then, one other thing I wanted to cover. I'm probably not even going to have a chance to cover 1559, but the other thing I wanted to cover, I was listening to Red this morning, and he said something that, well, there were a couple of things that happened this past week. Son of a Tech came out and said he was out. He was out of Ethereum, or was getting out. Didn't like what was going on. I agreed with him, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to get out right now. A few days ago, things weren't looking so hot. Thought I should have gotten out here. I think basically his video, came out around here, and I was like, it's on the way down. I want to see if it gets back up here before I decide to get out. So anyway, and then Red said something this morning about that he was going into ADA and DOT instead. I'm also a proponent of ADA. I think Cardano is going places. So anyway, got me thinking, and then I was looking at my particular account and was like, oh, look, where ETH is gone today. So didn't sell everything at the top, unfortunately. I didn't sell everything. I wasn't going to sell everything, but I did sell quite a bit. And what I ended up doing is I looked, and today, if you look, like Cardano is down a little bit. Bitcoin was up. Well, when I bought it, it was actually down, but it was down a bit. So what I ended up doing is I looked at the those coins versus ETH and saw that they were down against it. So you can see those are where my two buys were today on Cardano. And then, sorry, let me double check. Where's the other one? Oh, Bitcoin. Oh, that's right. Bitcoin's done the other way. You got to look at ETH over here. No, that wasn't the one. There is, I don't know where I was looking. But anyway, bottom line is that Bitcoin was down against ETH. This is the other way. This is showing that ETH is up against Bitcoin. So you can see the two purchases that I made. So I did make one up nearer to the top and one a little bit lower than that. But it's not a bad time if you're going to be moving out of one cryptocurrency into another. ETH has made a move, others have not. So it's not a bad idea to, if you're thinking about moving out of ETH because you're not happy with them, not a bad time to be doing it before these other cryptocurrencies make a move. I also did a Litecoin purchase as well, right down here, because it was also down against ETH. I don't know what this was, but anyway, some large spike there. But anyway, so just food for thought. Let me see if there's any questions in the... oh, you're trying to get some 5700 XTs? Yeah, I've got... I'm really going towards NVIDIA because they are more versatile as far as what they can mine versus what the AMD can do. AMDs basically can do Ravencoin and Ethereum. Everything else, they lag significantly behind. So that's why I am leaning towards anything I'm getting NVIDIA. I mean, even the 3060s, I think, are better for the future than getting any of the AMD cards. I've debated. I have six 5700s and one 5600 XT. I've debated on whether to sell those. I've already sold two 5600 XTs. Was originally planning on selling the other 5600 XT. I haven't decided on that yet. Sorry, Crypto Mikkel. I'm not sure I'm going to sell that one. Anyway, I had made an arrangement that once I got the cards, I was thinking I was going to sell it to Crypto Mikkel. But anyway, so yeah, I'm definitely leaning towards the trying to find any NVIDIA cards at this point. And then one last thing, just kind of going over 1559. So much going on this week. Obviously, the All-Core Devs meeting was on Friday. Yeah, it was disconcerting to hear what they had to say. It's still frustrating to hear what Georgios and Hasu are still peddling. Yeah, it's frustrating that nobody. We're like sounding the sirens. We're like Paul Revere, you know, that the British are coming. Okay, somebody is going to 51% attack this thing if the right conditions happen, and we are absolutely getting. I even posted a meme to somebody basically saying it was like, I don't know if you remember the Dumb and Dumber. They were in the van, and Jim Carrey's character is going like this, la 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 la. I can't hear you, la 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 la. And the other guy, Jeff Daniels' character, is like yelling at him, and there's the guy in the middle. And I was like, Micah is that guy in the middle, and the miners are the ones that are on the one side yelling. That's the Jeff Daniels character, and the All-Core Devs group is the Jim Carrey character. They're just not listening, and if they would come out and say, time will tell, we're way too far away from the fork to realize that, if, gosh, Red Panda's here. Holy crap. Hey, Red, you missed, you're gonna have to go back and review if you didn't catch, if you didn't catch me mentioning you. I'll tell you is that I sold quite a bit of ETH today. Well, quite a bit of percentage-wise of my ETH. I didn't have that much. But your DOT and Cardano, I know was not financial advice, and I am not giving financial advice either. But I saw that ETH was up considerably against everything else. So I felt like today was a good opportunity, still is a good opportunity. So that's why I've got ETH versus Litecoin. I picked up a little bit of that, picked up ADA, as well as Bitcoin. So just feel like it's still good timing. You can still get in on it. So anyway, now where the heck was I? Totally threw me off, Red. Anyway, 1559. So anyway, I'm not sure exactly where I was on that, but anyway, it's very frustrating. They're not listening. Oh, I remember, if they would just come out and say, you know what, it's too far away. It's too hard to say whether or not there's going to be a security risk. There's too many variables. That's fair, but they're not saying that. So if in the next 4 months, there are a number of layer 2 solutions that get adopted by more and more apps, that will bring down the gas prices all by themselves. And this whole thing about the block reward needing an increase in order to, not have a security risk, well, that all goes away. And that's a definite possibility. It's definitely a possibility. So, I just wish they would say that, because it would basically be like, hey, we're being heard. And I feel like the miners, the biggest thing is we just want to be heard. And right now it has been like, go away. We're like that mosquito, just go away. You guys don't know anything. And that's the way we're being treated. And nobody wants to be treated that way. I hear more and more miners saying, well, geez, we're just not being respected. We held up the network. They don't want to hear any of that. Again, the whole compromise and we did this when we were unprofitable. They don't believe any of that. But what it really comes down to is it a security risk or not? We're too far away really to determine whether or not it is, but it should be looked at. So one of the things that I'm possibly planning on doing, again, not financial advice, not telling this is what you should do, but if gas prices are high when that fork comes along, I am seriously thinking about turning my rigs off for 8 hours. A significant change in the difficulty will slow things down on the blockchain dramatically. I don't know if you've ever been part of a fork before, when they completely change what the algorithm is, and so people have to change miners completely. So there's this huge dip in the hash rate, and it takes, depending on the currency, it can take 4, 5, 10 hours for that to kind of figure itself out. Don't think it'll take even 8 hours for it to figure itself out with Ethereum. But if enough people turn their rigs off, it will lower the hash rate dramatically so that it slows down like crazy. After 8 hours, I plan on turning it on NiceHash and let whatever's going to happen happen. I seriously think, especially with the way these devs talked about them trying to weaponize the difficulty bomb, that was completely wrong. And even Micah said, this is really not what this was intended for. And other people were saying, no, it's exactly what it was intended for. No, it wasn't. It was intended to give the devs a kick in the pants so that they would get proof of stake done. That is why the difficulty bomb was there. Unfortunately, they made the difficulty bomb too easy to postpone. They just can postpone it whenever they want. So it isn't serving its purpose. And the fact that a dev came out and said, oh no, it's being done, this has always been its purpose, so that it prevents anybody from forking off to something else, because that other fork, and then them saying, well, it's really not that hard, any dev can do it. And again, it was just complete disrespect for the miners in my mind. And so if gas prices are high, that is what I plan on doing. We'll see over the next 4 months. If I change my mind, I have plenty of time to decide if that's what I'm going to do. But that's my thought. And I feel like, you know what? Just like Micah had brought up in when they delayed 2315, they delayed 2315, and Micah brought up that, you know what? This is a really bad precedent that things can be at the last moment taken out of a fork. So, I'm like, yeah, you know what? It's also a really bad precedent that, maybe you guys need to be taught a lesson. Maybe we need to let whatever's going to happen, show that there can be a big centralization of hash rate where anybody can purchase it, and it can be very, very dangerous. Now, they can say, well, if you do that, we're just going to move to proof of stake. It doesn't need to be that way. And we've told you that it doesn't need to be that way. It doesn't. All you have to do is look to see where it is at that point. A month from the fork, we're going to have a much better idea as to where things are. Where is Ethereum as far as pricing? Where is the gas fees? More importantly, the gas fees, because it really, honestly, the Ethereum price has nothing to do with it, because the hash rate will go along with it. So anyway, bottom line is, if gas prices are high when they go to fork, it's going to be very, very interesting, is all I can say. There's other people that may be planning much worse things, but hopefully I don't think those are going to come to fruition. But bottom line is, if you make your hash rate available to NiceHash, unless NiceHash does a defense as far as not allowing one person to buy too much hash rate, and maybe they will, I don't know. They didn't do that with Ethereum Classic. So anyway, definitely going to be some interesting times over the next 4 months. I've already eaten into DCA Adventure, so I will let you guys go. Let me answer a few questions before I go, though. If Red Panda's still here. Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you're down for a marketing campaign. By the way, you said you were going to do a sub bomb this morning. I'm just kidding. I'm not ready for it. I don't have enough content. I was not even worried about it. Maybe when I get some more content, I'll appreciate it then. But I would say for right now, I'm not too worried about it. Anyway, so questions. Let's see here. Let's 51% attack. Well, again, I'm not saying we should 51% attack. I'm just saying, you know what? Here's my hash rate for anybody that wants to rent it. And here's all my friends to come along. And they can all rent, you can rent theirs too. So yeah, if you make enough available and it's profitable enough to people that, there's lots of cryptocurrencies out there. And if you 51% attack Ethereum, it is not going to affect anything else, in my opinion. Honestly, there have been articles written. People have mentioned this. They cannot tell you that how many times it's been brought to their attention. So just because Ethereum gets 51% attacked, that doesn't mean anybody else is, because others like ETC, I mean, even as Bitsby Trippin said, if they would just put some of the same things in place that Ethereum Classic put into place to prevent a 51% attack, they could do that as well. But anyway, it is what it is. Again, you say your little hash rate won't help. There's a lot of little hash rate out there. If everybody does it, it can make a difference. So the fact of the matter is no hash rate is too small to make a difference. Obviously, it'd be great if we had 100 people like Red Panda that could switch their rigs versus 1,000 or 10,000 people smaller people to switch their rigs. But if everybody does it, then maybe that's something that can be done. ETC profitability is pretty far down. They let so many cards eligible able to mine their coins. So you got a bunch of 3 gig cards that are able to mine ETC, and honestly, I don't think they can mine much else. So anyway, yeah, I think there's a lot of people. I mean, like I said, today is a perfect day to do it. So if you are thinking about selling ETH, it's a great day. I'm glad to hear that you did it as well, Crypto Bedell. Again, not financial advice. Yeah, no, then they're going to remember to do the difficulty bomb on the fork that they're changing, unfortunately. So, yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. They did it with ETC. It was pretty well documented that the hash rate got bought from NiceHash. So, yeah, I don't know. I know that one of the things that was mentioned, and one of the things that was mentioned by, I don't know if it was Tim or Micah, but one of the two had mentioned that if the miners could show that they could consolidate all of their hash rate to a single place, like they mentioned Flexpool, because Flexpool was against 1559. If we could show that we could organize and do that might be enough to take notice. The problem is that's a dangerous thing to do, because if you can't show it, you'll never get their attention again. So it would have to be extremely well organized prior to the fork. I honestly think the message might be better served after the fork. But hey, I'm open. If anybody wanted to try to organize it before the fork to say we need to centralize all of our hash rate at here, they were recommending a pool rather than NiceHash, because somebody could take advantage of it at NiceHash. Anyway, just something to think about. Anyway, we'll see. Like I said, I got to this was kind of off the cuff tonight. Had a glass of wine tonight and I just felt like talking. So anyway, I'm already 8 minutes over eating into DCA Adventure. So I don't have their link directly, but I would bet most of you know how to get to DCA Adventure. You can just look them up. Here, let me just get it real quick. I'll get the link and put it in, unless somebody else wants to get it before I do. We shall see.
Forecross.
Of course, that sound had to be there. Alrighty. There you go, guys. Go do a DCA Adventure raid. Do a max voltage raid at DCA Adventure. Thanks for coming, guys. I appreciate it. And we'll see you, I don't know. One last thing. I've been meaning to do it. I got to get it done. I'm going to be doing a 1-year review of my solar panel system, showing what the benefit of it was and how it works with the power system that I'm on, or the power plan that I'm on. And I should be putting that together here shortly. The guy behind me actually got some nice drone videos from his drone of my solar panels. and I go through some of the things outside. I've already shot all the video. I just gotta kind of put it all together. Anyway, have a great night, guys. We will talk to you later.